What's going on, dudes? How you guys doing? I am TheeRealDuke, and welcome to my Besiege Let's Play episode, what are we at? 7? Episode 7. What's going on, dudes? I hope you guys are doing alright. I got some cool stuff to show you. Alpha version 0.05 came out. Spiderling Games also released some good news about version 0.1, the next major update. So we're psyched. First things first, though. I have a fire-breathing dragon that I want to show you later, too. Just let me throw that out there, so stick around for that. But let me show you the new blocks first. We got 1, 2, 3.5 new blocks to talk about. And I want to show you guys some of the new features also that were added. Just there's one big one, so check it out. So you can see here we have a new wheel type. It's in mechanical. It is the large wheel, and it's awesome for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's large. You can see I have it next to two blocks. It's about that big, but also we're finally able to connect things directly to the outside like this. Yeah, because they have spots, they have connection points now on the sides, which is going to be awesome. Also, in some testing I did, they're much more resilient than normal wheels, and because their radius is larger, the speed at which things rotate on them feels a lot faster. So that's cool. Second, we have ball joints, which you see here. I have this ball joint here, and it's hard to explain what they actually do, but if you think about your shoulder, it can rotate in a bunch of different directions. So this just rotates on all axes, including around the ball joint. And so what I did was, just to show that, I made this kind of oddly weighted and balanced thing here, and then I hooked it up to a spinning block. So when I hit go, we'll see that, but I don't want to hit go yet because there's another feature that's going to show you guys, which is cool. We have this up here, the swivel joint, which we used to have, but now they made it much more. They changed the graphics of it, and they also made these attachment points on the side much easier. You can always attach things to the top and then to that like you used to, but you can attach things directly to the side. It's much more clear now. And cool to see. So that's there. And then this, which is in the weapons. And I'm thinking to myself, how can you use this as a weapon? I mean, you could just kind of drive up to things and then set them on fire. But this is the small torch, which is kind of cool. It sets stuff on fire. And there's another use for it that I want to show you guys in a second. But check this out. I'm going to hit go and we'll see what happens here. Don't forget to check this out too. Watch. Okay. So it's rotating this way, back and forth, forward and backwards into the plane and around this axis. That's awesome. That is going to be really good for a lot of, I'm picturing humanoid type designs, many layers of movement or articulation, points of articulation for complicated things, or more complicated joints that we can now mechanize, which is really cool. But what you may be noticing, if you can hear me, I'm clapping my hands now, and this is to show you that my hands are off the keyboard, but the wheels are still spinning. There's a new automatic feature that was built into the game that they made for us. And let me just go ahead and turn this wheel up here too, so you can see that that's going. What happens though is, I've noticed if you attach things to the wheel that are the width of the wheel or the wooden block logs that we're normally used to working with, they grind. And they make a lot of dust. They make a lot of dust and noise. So that's something. That's definitely something to take into consideration. But yeah, let me go ahead and come back here and show you this. So we go in here, and there's this automatic mode. Now I found that to toggle the automatic mode, I actually have to come in and out of the menu and hit go, and then come back by hitting the spacebar again for it to actually work. So let's go ahead and we'll switch it on here, and now it won't do it. But so I hit automatic and close this, and now it's working. I don't know. Let me try that again. Okay, there. So automatic was on. It's not working. I come back in. Now it's on again. I don't know. Okay. Anyway, that's still awesome. You can apply this to wheels and cogs. Now, before I show you this one other use that I found for the torch and the fire-breathing, flying, wing-flapping dragon, I want to show you this other use this one other thing. Check this out. Okay, so first let me just say, when I look through here and I see things like motor wheel, unpowered wheel, large wheel, the fact that we have a large wheel is promising because there may also be in the future a small wheel, which I'm not sure exactly how useful a small wheel will be, but when I see things like powered medium cog, that makes me think in the future there's going to be a powered large cog and maybe a powered small cog, so we can kind of get into gear ratios, which would be totally freaking awesome. But one thing that occurred to me about the torch is that maybe we could use the torch to fire a cannon. Do you think it will work? The basic mechanism, as you can see here, is when I hit go, this is going to drop down, torch on here. Do we get a boom? What do you think? Let's turn this at some dudes. See if we can do some damage here. Maybe, if it fires. What's going to happen? I don't know. Let's find out. Boom, it works. Oh, we got some deaths. There's some murder death kills out there too. I was joking. I knew this would work. But a couple of points about it. This here is not necessary. Still works. It also fires faster because it gets to it quicker, more quickly. Gets to the back of it more quickly. The other way, that doesn't work. And if this isn't here, it doesn't set anything on fire. But if you take it off and like other fire, you add it in the wrong way, it absolutely will set your crap on fire. Now, one thing I did notice also that was cool about the torch, and we'll get on to the fire-breathing dragon right now. But one thing that I thought was cool about the torch was that the fire's burning right now, unlike the flaming ball. When we're in build mode, the ball's not on fire. But when we hit go, then it is. Anyway, those are the new blocks. I'd love to see what you guys have come up with. If you guys have any ideas or cool ways for using these blocks, or you have a challenge for these blocks for me for next episode, leave me a note in the comments below and let me know. I got a couple ideas too, and I'm going to show them to you next episode. This episode, I want to keep it quick, and I want to show you my dragon. Check this out. And here is my dragon. It's got a lot of dragonly parts to it. Like, for example, a horn and dragon ears. Point with this thing. Dragon ears, horn, fire source for the mouth face. It's got an articulated tail that it uses to help steering while flying. It doesn't have any legs because they throw off the weight. I tried screwing around with it, but I wanted to keep the mechanism small. Additionally, speaking of the mechanism, this is an updated mechanism. It's more compact over the version that I included in my in the Eagle from last episode. It's a little bit smaller and it's a little bit more lightweight. You can see if you look at the last episode on the Eagle, the back row of wings were fixed. There were attachments everywhere. There were 3 or 4 more of these spiral propeller things on each row for each wing. It was required a lot more. So this enabled me, the smaller, more compact design enabled me to keep functionality while still actually being able to keep it smaller and lighter and a little bit more agile. So let's check it out. Now, I have it up in the air. I'll drop it to the ground. It does take off from the ground as well. I just like the idea of vertical takeoff and landing ones. And one thing I did want to note, and I'm not by any means looking down on anybody else's design anywhere, but one of the challenges that I set for myself when I'm making these things is that I'm able to use them and function, and they function in real time at full speed up here. There are a lot of other designs and a lot of other functions that only work, a lot of other builds that only work at like 10%, 20%, something in there. Mine, I try and make them all work in real time. Just want to throw that out there to you guys because it's a little bit more difficult to get things that are stable while you're actually controlling them versus when you got that cushion of slow-mo. If you have some cool slow-mo designs that only work in there, I still want to hear about those too. Definitely let me know about those. I might get some of mine out there too. But this one does work at full speed. You can see the sliders up there. So without further ado, let's see if we can get some takeoff action from the ground here. So I just hit O to actuate all those dudes. All the little spiral things. You can see the tail is kind of rocking, and it adds a little bit of a little bit of interest to trying to fly it, and a little bit of kind of drama as it's flapping its wings here, which I just have hotkeyed to I, and it is pretty stable. It's easy to correct, and one of the things it does is it has that motion like dragons do when they swoop in. It has that motion when the wings flap that it rights itself and brings its head up like right before it's about to breathe fire, which, you know, I think is freaking awesome. So you can see, I mean, I'm just kind of flying around here, screwing around, having some fun. One thing I did want to show you is that I was able to make it breathe fire. There you go. But it's pretty resilient too. I'm on the ground now. And then we can just kind of take off and rain terror from the skies. But let's see if we can go punish some village or something like that. What do you say? Oh yeah, death from above. Burn truck door. Awesome. All right, let's see if we can get some bonus kills out of this. Get him, yes. Ah, that is satisfying. That is satisfying. So that is it for this episode. I hope you dudes enjoyed it. Thank you so much for taking a second to check it out. I'm just kind of hovering up here at high altitude with my articulated, flapping, fire-breathing, flying dragon. No big deal. No big deal. I'm psyched about the new blocks, and I can't wait for the update to happen. See if we can we do a flip? Yes, we can. Barrel roll. I can't wait for the next major update to happen. I am super stoked. It is going to be a new map, new structures, new enemies, new blocks. It's going to be the works. Dude, it's going to be awesome. Hopefully that'll come out soon. They're saying like about a month or so. Anyway, that is it for me for this episode. Thank you again so much for taking a second to check this out. I hope you found it fun. I had a good time bringing it to you, and I will catch you guys next time. That's it for me. It's TheeRealDuke, and I'm out.